Oh, according to Laura Loomer, who's a piece of shit, but Mitch McConnell is officially brain dead. He's not coming back. Yeah, we do not like her. That's fucking huge. Not just it wasn't a red line. It was a red line. Interesting. Yeah, okay. Wow, she is hating on Plattner. Obviously, it's an easy, cheap target to go for. Yeah, Laura Loomer is a piece of shit. Sorry. I guess I kind of not really related to the Laura Loomer, but Netanyahu and Trump are going after Turkey pretty hard right now.
50th birthday by highlighting the great success of our United States military and its latest achievements.
Our rise to being the world's strongest and most powerful nation
I was so upset he didn't collapse on stage.
was no accident of history. We rebuilt our military in my first term. We use it a little bit in our, well, actually, I should say third term, but I won't do that because I don't want any controversy. But we use it, and we've had tremendous success. You look at
Are you insane? Yeah, he's like demented.
Venezuela, you look at Iran, we wiped out their military.
Here now in studio, Florida Republican Congressman Jimmy Patronis. Congressman, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So what's your analysis of the president highlighting some of the great achievements of the United States military in recent months?
Look, I think it's important for him to continue bragging about the successes of our country. Some people asked, why is he doing this speech so late? I think it was important for him to be prime time all around the globe, to be
He wasn't. They delayed it because how hot it was.
able to emphasize what we've accomplished, to flex a little bit, but also just pride of our country and our accomplishments. 250 years.
She
What were
fucking
some
hates
of
him,
your key
dude.
takeaways from his address, and what was it like being there as a relatively new member of Congress?
Yeah, look, I'm still starstruck, to be in our nation's capital for this.
Yeah, fuck you, dude. You're starstruck because you're hanging out with a pedophile rapist. Whatever, man.
250th birthday. I think that it was important that the president did remind America of what we have not finished business, and that was the Save America Act. I still feel like we've done our job in the House. We've just got to continue to work with the Senate to get this, as this is an issue that polls 70% with Democrats, Republicans, Independent, you name it. People want voter ID and they want honest elections.
The key question for leaders today, including you, is how do we keep it going for the next 250?
Yeah.
Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, look, it's going to take work. I tell people.
Yeah, not work that Trump is doing. If we kept going with Trump era politics, this country would be a fucking pit in the ground, irrecoverable from any sort of damage.
I tell people all the time, it's not a sprint, it's a march. Every single day, we've got to continue to work better. My kids are my motivation. I want to make sure I'm leaving this country in a better place than when I found it.
So you hate your children.
That if I am making the decisions that would make their lives a little bit better down the road, I feel like we're going in the right direction.
All right, the NATO summit is this week in Turkey. There is some bipartisan concern about the Trump administration potentially selling $700 million in military technology to Turkey and President Erdogan. Why is this concerning you?
Look, a number of things concern me. I do trust the president. I do.
And guess who's not happy with this? Big old Benny, baby.
Do trust Marco Rubio when it comes to these dialogues and discussions and negotiations. But, I'm of Greek heritage. I do have definitely a concern here. Turkey's never been an honest broker. They're difficult to trust. But I know the president has a relationship with
Turkey's such a shit country. It really fucking sucks that Turkey's part of NATO.
one that goes way beyond and before he was ever president of the country. So I do think that, as long as S-400s are there, I think as long as Turkey is not cooperating with other NATO nations when it comes to sanctions against Russia.
Yeah, but don't you want to dissolve NATO?
I think that should give us pause and at least good deliberations before those type of transactions move forward.
What are your concerns about what Turkey could do with some of our best military technology?
Well, look, it was just yesterday. I remember I was in Greece and seeing Turkish fighters buzz the island. What for? But nothing more than to create havoc and just distress the relationships between two countries. Giving more advanced technology to the Turks is something I think is not in the best interest of stability in the region.
And Erdogan's close with the Russians, right? Yeah. Also,
very, very close.
Some of his behavior is troubling.
Just kidding.
Erdogan's
not a good person. Erdogan is incredibly evil.
playing footsie with so many players in the region as we're trying to bring stability to the region. I think it's time for the cuteness in the games to be set aside and let's focus on stability that the region truly needs.
We will cover that important NATO summit this week. Congressman Jimmy Petronis of the Great.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough NATO summit.
So let's bring in Israeli Prime Minister Ben.
Big ol' bit. Oh my God. What a fucking pause, dude. It's like they're fucking introducing a fighting game character.
Netanyahu right now. Mr.
Didn't
Prime
mean me to
Minister,
do that.
thanks so much for the time. First off, we've been seeing the funeral of the Ayatollah, who was killed in the initial strikes of the battle in Operation Epic Fury. What is your takeaway from the turnout?
Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah. Khomeini funeral signals Iran's defiance. Yeah, they are going pretty hard. Divine blessing. The Strait of Hormuz is the greatest power tool. We must properly protect this divine blessing. Under no circumstance relinquish its rights. Yeah. Iran won't give up Hormuz. Iran is exploiting Miller calls a key reality of post-war order. And they're not going to give it up. Because, I mean, Trump and his administration showed that they never had to. Not a diamond for a lollipop. The war, they say, is underlying Iran's leverage over the Strait of Hormuz and able to demand any deal on its nuclear program begins with a recognition over its control of the vital oil choke point is a reality that must be accepted. Yep. Thanks, Trump. Another what? Oh, Graham Plattner. You're late. We already did Graham Plattner.
And the fact that it was attended by Saudi Arabia, Oman, as well as Qatar. They sent delegations.
Look, Iran is a nation of about 90 million. About 80% of them hate this regime and would like to see it gone. But you still have...
I mean, yeah, until you started bombing their cities for no reason.
Quite a few million, a minority that they can bring to the streets. And what do they shout in the streets? I don't know if you heard this, Brian. They were shouting...
Everyone's heard this. We know that Iranian citizens yell death to America. I'm not surprised.
Death to Trump. Death to me, of course. But death to Trump. We have to kill Trump. Death to America. This is what is the face of this minority that has taken over, hijacked this talented people, the Iranian people, the people who...
By the way, Benjamin Netanyahu wants to see Iran in a crater. A crater in the ground. That's what big old Benny wants from Iran.
Fight for freedom, have been massacred on the streets for freedom. So I think that if the Iranian people were given a chance, they'd throw these bums out. And I think we have to recognize that. They are not America's friend. And we should not let them have nuclear weapons.
He is so fucking scared of Trump dropping him. Holy shit.
Or the means to deliver them, both to us, but also to you. That's very, very dangerous.
There's zero shot that Iran ever nuclear strikes America. Now, Israel, on another hand, that's a different question.
So this is a battle of freedom versus fanaticism, and the fanaticism can be seen on the streets of Iran. As far as the countries that go there, well, I think there's sort of a kind of a betting on hedging bets, but I think most people understand that the positive force for good, including the countries that went there, the positive force for good, for security and prosperity in the Middle East is not with Iran. It's the countries that stand against Iran.
So Israel.
And that's the United States and Israel, whose brave soldiers fought shoulder to shoulder to cut down Iran's nuclear threat.
When did they fight shoulder to shoulder, Big Benny? That hasn't happened yet.
And their ballistic missile threat.
What people should realize, and they probably realize, I want to say it, you would not be attacking a single nation that wasn't attacking you. If you're not under threat, if
Lebanon, Palestine, Iran.
If you're not threatening Israel, you're not going to have
everyone else just speaks apartheid. Yeah.
Israel. People seem to miss that point. The other thing is we've had over 13,000 strikes on them. You've had over 8,000 strikes on them. Why is that government still standing?
Because it has a few 100,000 goons who murder in broad daylight and at night. They murder their own people. They've murdered and maimed over 40,000.
Big old Benny, I got a question for you. It's such a waste of my fucking time, honestly, sometimes even watching shit like this, because it's like, we know he's just lying about this.
Of their own citizens. And I think that's the reason they're in
But it's important to watch this because it's pretty fucking obvious how scared he is to lose Trump as an ally, especially with Trump going to Turkey and doing an arms deal with Turkey.
That's the same is true in Hezbollah in Lebanon, which is one of their proxies of Iran's fanatic regime's proxy in Lebanon. They also threatened to kill the Lebanese who want them out. The Lebanese government said they want them out. They're threatening them at the point of a gun. And the same is true of Hamas, their other proxy in Gaza. They just murder. They shoot people.
So when one person from Hamas goes into an orphanage, we gotta blow up the entire thing.
In the back of the heads if they refuse to accept their tyrannical rule. So this is
What are you doing, old Big
regime
Ben?
based on tyranny and terror. It has an axis of terror based on tyranny and terror. And the ones that have been fighting it is Israel and the United States. And I very much appreciate the fact.
Oh my God, the dick sucking right now.
Especially on, we're celebrating now 250 years of America's independence. America's been a tremendous force for good. And without
Jesus, I have not heard him suck dick this hard in a minute.
America, there won't be any democracy in the world and there won't be any freedom in the world. So I salute America on its 250th birthday.
Mr. Prime Minister, is the relationship with the president under strain right now? He's been pretty direct in some of his criticism of you and as Israel, some of the aggression against Hezbollah. And your thoughts about that?
Yes. Well, first of all, we see eye to eye on just about everything. And sometimes, as happens among the best of allies, and we are the best of allies, there can be differences of opinion. We usually speak about.
He's trying to gaslight himself into thinking that Trump still wants to go to his birthday party. Holy fuck.
Things, and so do I. But we are, we're allies. We're your model ally. And we respect the United States of America. And if you come to Israel, it is the one nation here in this region that is not only a democracy, but a democracy in which the overwhelming majority of the people unabashedly support the United States of America. So my relationship with the president is fine, and we have a way of ironing out our differences as allies who respect each other.
Yeah, me and my boyfriend are still fine. Like we just had we broke up 4 times, but we're doing fine now. Jesus, man.
So what do you look to accomplish? I hear you're coming to visit. What do you expect to accomplish with the president?
Well, we haven't yet set a date for the visit, but I'd like to see the peace with Lebanon advance, just as we advanced together, President Trump and I, the Abraham Accords, which brought 4 peace agreements that nobody believed were possible. We brought them together. And I think that the fact that we basically hammered the Iranian regime, we've weakened it substantially, and that opens up the path for some other peace deals. That's what I'd like to advance. The other thing I'd like to say, because we're on the verge of...
There's Netanyahu.
Look,
what?
Turkey is a great country, but it's governed by a man who calls openly for the annihilation of Israel. He occupies half of Cyprus, a NATO country. He's threatening Greece, another NATO country. And he talks openly about conquering Jerusalem. His foreign minister, his number 2, said that the Jewish state hasn't a place among humanity. Basically, it has to be wiped out. His interior minister, said he looks forward to be the governor of Jerusalem. Well, for a regime infected by the Muslim Brotherhood, an extreme movement that hates America and chants death to America from that side of the spectrum, I don't think they should be given F-35s or the engines for their fighter jets, because that'll upset the power balance in the Middle East, which is ultimately guaranteed by Israeli air superiority and also by, I think, by America's posture.
Is he strong? No, he's a weak little pussy.
They have the Russian missile defense. So why would we give them an opportunity to...
Yeah, dude, they're freaking the fuck out after this Turkey-U.S. deal.
Biden plan against it. And lastly, they're also financing Hamas. And you guys know that. So they might have helped, but they're financing Hamas, right?
They finance Hamas. They harbor Hamas. They roll out the red carpet for Hamas. They're, in fact, supporting the bad guys. And they didn't lift a finger to help you in Iran. We did. We're the model ally that fought next to your great soldiers. There is, I think, as Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War, said, these are the 2 fighting allies. And I think it's a remarkable partnership. Do we have some disagreements?
Yeah, what a fucking pussy. Do you really not know who Benjamin Netanyahu is? He's the Prime Minister of Israel, the arbiter of death and genocide against the Palestinians. He's an evil, 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 evil human being. And such a little pussy, too. He is such a little pussy, dude. He has 0 fucking spine.